Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarah Smith here on the Sarah Speaks podcast, and I'm just podcasting from my car this evening following an event that the Mothers Who Stand for Freedom organised. That's a group that I'm a part of, and if you don't follow them already on Facebook, then I recommend finding them, Mothers Who Stand for Freedom. And we are a group of mothers and anybody, really, mothers who, or women who don't have children of their own, which is me, I'm in that category, or fathers or grandparents, or just, men without children. Anybody. It's not a group exclusively for women or mothers. It's about, all of us finding our care aspect, isn't it? And standing up for freedom. So it just happens to be kind of pitched that way because, well, I don't know. I just think it's, who can argue with a mother about what's good for their child and what's good for the future? And mothers know best, as we all know, and they have a strong voice, and they have a strong vested interest in doing the best for their children. So that's kind of a little bit about the group. So we had just slightly under a week to organise an event where we hosted Brooke Federline, a child sex trafficking, SRA, satanic ritual abuse survivor. And she shared her testimony with us. And we also had Carleen Hereroa, I hope I said that right, from the Bay of Islands, who has just gone on a massive road trip around New Zealand to awaken New Zealanders to the horrific tragedy that is going on right underneath our noses. And she also shared her personal testimony of a man actually moving into her home who was helping a family who also moved into her home. And this man, he actually started grooming one of the girls to the point of actually abusing her. And, Carleen shared her story of how that ended up, and, it wasn't pretty. And I won't go into too much of the detail because we are going to be releasing the audio and the footage, hopefully, of the event. I gave a little introduction to satanic ritual abuse and trauma-based mind control. And I suppose I was the MC, I MC'd the event. So what I wanted to say, really, why I wanted to just talk about this is because it was amazing. It really, to organise an event at such small notice, to literally have the venue cancel on you the day of the event, to have to scramble and find another venue at short notice and ensure that everybody who was coming knew about the venue change, and that no one ended up at the other venue. So anyway, it was a bit of a palaver, but we got there. That was the main thing. And the show was going to happen hell or high water. So it went off just absolutely better than I could have expected, really. We had over 80 people in a packed room. There was standing room only. and people came and had cups of tea and had a bicky to start with, and then we had to set up more chairs, and yeah, it was pretty busy, and it was just wonderful to see so many people hungry for the truth and wanting to really understand what the darkness is up to, basically, and hear it straight from the individuals who have witnessed it and experienced it. And there's nothing more powerful than hearing somebody's own personal testimony in the flesh, and someone that you can really, you can go up to them and shake their hand or give them a hug. And yeah, it's different to hearing it kind of on the screen or just reading it in a book. It makes it really real, and I think that's what, and you've got that heart energy that you can feel, and you're in someone else's heart space, and you're with a group of people who are all wanting to bring in the light and who are all asking for truth, and it just makes it so potent and so powerful. And it's just was really important for people to realize as well that they're part of a group, and they're part of an awakening, and they're not alone. And so many people have been ferreting away in the darkness, with a lot of this information, and that's been me to a really large degree. And as all of you will know, you try and share these things with people, and people just don't want to know, and they think you're crazy, and they don't want to manifest more negativity, because if you talk about the darkness, you'll just get more darkness. Whereas I feel like if you bring the darkness out into the open, it gives you a chance to shine the light on it. So that's what we did this evening. We shone the light brightly on some really dark issues. And this is happening more and more all around the world. And I came out publicly supporting Trump. And when I say publicly, I mean in front of a big group. I've come out to friends, and I suppose I've come out online a bit with my support for Trump. Excuse me, it's getting a bit late. But yeah, to kind of stand up in front of a group like that and credit Trump for his work on child trafficking and raising awareness about the topic, and also the number of arrests of pedophiles under his administration is just phenomenal for anyone that wants to go and actually look at the research or look at the numbers and look at what he's actually done, because people just like to look at the mainstream headlines, and of course they don't tell us the full picture, and they often tell us lies. So that was quite interesting, especially because there were friends of mine in the audience who are full-blown lefties. Yeah. And so I didn't really tell anyone in my real life about the event, that anyone that wasn't already awake or that would be interested, because I'm just not quite ready to have those awkward conversations, or I don't know. I don't even know why I don't do it, because I'm not really scared of losing friends who want to end friendships over these kinds of things. I don't, it would be their loss, really, I suppose, and that's why I have to see it, because I just feel like there's too much at stake now. If you're not going to look at the facts, and if you're not going to comprehend the facts for yourself and use your brain and use your common sense to actually draw your own conclusions and not just base your conclusions on what the mainstream media tells you in sound bites at the 6 o'clock news, then yeah, I don't really know what to say. You know, there's part of me that is a people pleaser, and I don't like getting offside with people or falling out with people. And I don't particularly like conflict. I mean, I will stand up for things that I believe in, and I will fight for justice and freedom, and I do believe there are things worth fighting for. And I suppose this is one of them. You know, this is the battle. We're in an information war, and I want to be part of that battle. I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. I don't want to say to my kids that I did nothing, and I don't want to hold on to the information that I have been given and gifted by people much wiser than me and much smarter than me and who came before me and did all the work. That, you know, I can't just hold on to that and not share it, because that's the nature of truth, and truth needs to be shared. So that was what this event was about. You know, it was a massive truth bomb, and it was very, very well received, and it was a great turnout, and we ended up basically getting kicked out of the venue, but there was so many people that wanted to stay and just connect and chat and share their stories, or, you know, hear other people's stories. So it was just phenomenal. It really was phenomenal, and it was such a dark topic, but I really wanted people to leave feeling uplifted and leave feeling connected and leave feeling the beauty of life and the gift of life. And that's what's worth fighting for. And if we don't fight for it now, then, you know, the powers that be will just take it as compliance. And I still have to do my Helen Clark video, but she definitely said that, you know, under COVID, the New Zealand population complied, and that's as good as consent. So we do not consent to this corrupt, evil system that allows pedophiles and rapists and dealers of pornographic. It's not. It wouldn't be pornographic, would it? It'd be the dealers of videos of abuse, basically, and rape videos of these small children and older children. But, you know, the trafficked children get filmed, and then that footage gets sent around the world. And people need to wake up to this. Like, this is a serious market out there. Like, who is consuming this stuff? Who is making this stuff? You know, and Carleen shared her testimony of what happened to this guy that was in her house that was dealing with all this stuff. And these guys they're pretty much getting away with it. You know, they're getting like home detention. Their sentences are, you know, they start high and then they just get lowered and lowered and lowered, and they don't even have to do any real time, because the corruption goes right to the top. And I don't need to go into any real detail about it, because I'm sure most of you know about it. And if you don't, then you seriously need to go and research it. You know, Fiona Barnett, Kathy O'Brien, the Hampstead case. There are just so many cases out there now that once you've heard testimony after testimony after testimony, you start to get a picture of what's going on and the level of detail that these people can go into. You know, you can't make that up. You just can't. And with the Biden laptop coming out, and obviously the whole Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and so many other child traffickers that are hitting the mainstream, or the cults, you know, the Ramirez cult, I can't remember, and with the actress. My brain is fogging over. It's quite late at night here. Yeah, so the mainstream is picking up on these stories because, you know, the dam is just so stacked up and it's really about to break. And if you haven't gone and looked at this, you're really going to be in for a rude awakening. So that's my little update of the Mothers Who Stand for Freedom's first event. It was absolutely amazing, and there's just been such interest from all around the country to hear Brooke and Carlene's testimony. And yeah, it's something else, and it will be going around the country by the looks of it. So yeah, watch this space. We will get back to you and we'll put all the details out when we know exactly how it's going to work. But yeah, it's exciting, and people want to know the truth, and we're in the times of revelation, so this is a time where anyone can know the truth should they want it. And yeah, it doesn't matter what caste system you're in. It doesn't matter what family lineage you're in. And it doesn't matter how much money you've got, or, you know, it's just the time for truth is now. And the time for action is now. And if you're not going to act now, then when will you act? When will you use the gifts that God gave you to bring about freedom and prosperity and peace, true peace on this earth, not the fake peace that the New World Order wants to bring in by taking away our freedoms, but the peace of common law through natural law and through God's law and through the principle of do no harm. So yeah, that's it from me, folks. Just wanting to say thank you all for coming along this evening, and thank you to all of you who made this event happen, and a huge thank you to Brooke and Carlene for sharing their testimonies. It's just, yeah, we cannot thank you enough, because it is a very hard thing speaking publicly, let alone sharing experiences that you've had, or, you know, where you've supported others through difficult times. Like, it's just, yeah, it's horrific, and the children need our voice. So thanks to everybody, thanks to all the light workers, and thanks to all the brave souls who are wanting to stand for truth, beauty and goodness, and fight for the freedoms that that are rightfully ours. So with that, have a good night, and we'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye now.